Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Black Man Speak. I'm your co-host, the J.R. Stewart.
Shake it up, shake it down, move it in, move it around. If you want to be Uncle Asar's disco lady, I am your co-host, Uncle Asar Al Cable.
I like that greeting. Well, it's January 14th, 2026, and if it's which is a Wednesday, and if it's Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Time, it's certainly
It's
Black
Black
Man
Men
Speak.
Speak.
That's right. So, Tommy Duncan III is not with us tonight. He had a family emergency. He had to go check on his dad. So his dad is in our prayers, and we will be missed tonight. So, myself and Uncle Sar are going to hold down the fort tonight, and we're going to get started like we always do with our ancestors. So we're going to get Uncle Sar to take over that segment and tell us about the recent folks who became ancestors. Take it away,
Right,
Uncle
so
Sar.
appreciate it. We got three people that have passed into the realm of ancestor. And Monday we lost John Forte, and I'm gonna try to read these without my readers, so bear with me. The brother was a recording artist and producer. He's best known for being a member of the musical collective Refugee Camp All Stars for his collaborations We Trying to Stay Alive with Wyclef Jean and Rumble in the Jungle with the Fugees, The Tribe Called Quest, and Busta Rhymes, and his production work on The Score in 1996, which he received critical acclaim, and for which he received critical acclaim and earned a Grammy Award nomination. And he released his solo debut album, Poli Sci, in 1998. He died or passed away Monday. And then, of course, I'm sure all of you are aware that Sister Claudette Colvin passed away Tuesday. And she was a pioneer of the 1950 civil rights movement and a nurse aide. On March 2nd, 1955, she was arrested at the age of 15 in Montgomery, Alabama, for refusing to give up her seat to a white woman on a crowded, segregated bus. It occurred 9 months before the similar, more widely known incident in which Rosa Parks, secretary of the local chapter of the NAACP, helped spark the 1955 Montgomery bus boycott. And then just now, a brother named Kevin Arcady, I think it's Arcady, I'm not sure. He was a television writer and producer. He was the co-creator of New York Undercover, and he worked on Chicago. He's noted for his work on Chicago Hope and The Shield, and he died December, I think it just came out. Did it come out? December 17, 2025 at the age of 68. The brother Forte was 50. He just died at 50.
Way too young.
Absolutely. I don't know why I just got this notice. An alert just came across. Maybe they just found out. I don't know.
Wow. So let me ask you this. Claudette had done what she did. Do you think Rosa did what she did?
So from my understanding, there was a program, or they were organized in such a fashion where these things, it was more than those two, is what I understand.
Okay.
So from that, I assumed that absolutely it was something in the planning that they were doing. And then I guess when Rosa Parks did it, or they organized around what she did or when she did it, and that hit, and that jumped off the bus boycott.
Now, Rosa did work for the NAACP. Do you think that had something to do with it? To pick her case up and make it the central point?
Yeah. So from what I understand, the young Claudette was 15.
Right.
And she wasn't, they do the nonviolent direct action where you allow white folk to whoop on your head and you don't retaliate. And much like any young person, especially young people now, they weren't any different back then. From what I understand, she wasn't amenable to the demure way or the demure reaction that Rosa Parks exhibited.
So she was a hothead?
I don't think she's necessarily a hothead. I just don't think she was 15. She was gonna be reactionary as opposed to,
or just not as controllable.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, if that's the way you want to say it, she's 15.
Okay. Well, our prayers go out to the families and to all of the folks who have passed away and became ancestors. So, but the young brother died. We have too many of black men that we mentioned on this show died in their 50s, way too young. We have to start taking better care of our health and paying attention to what's going on before things get critical. So go to your doctor, get regular checkups, try to eat well, try to exercise, try to drink plenty of water, try to stay off as many medications as you possibly can. Meds, it may keep you alive today, but they'll slow you over the long term. All of them have side effects. I don't care what your doctor says. Okay, so with the ancestors gotten that out of the way, um, what's going to be our first big story of our topic of discussion tonight?
I don't know what you got on the list.
To be totally honest, I only had the OMEC on the list. That's at the bottom of the hour. We could talk about them early or extend the discussion to two segments if you like. And then want to talk about the attempted assassination attempt of, I want to make sure I pronounce his name correctly, but my French accent is not there. Traore, the leader of Burkina Faso. That's how you pronounce his name? Traore?
Ibrahim Traore.
Ibrahim Traore?
Traore. It's phonetic. It's just the way it looks. Traore.
Traore?
T-R-A.
Traore.
Traore. Traore.
I'm told that there was a recent assassination attempt against his life. I did hear his speech that he gave, I believe, to some African leaders that somehow got rebroadcast and retranslated. So I don't know if you got a chance to hear the speech yourself. I do follow some of the things that go on there recently since he's taken over. Now, I give the brother some credit. He's doing some good things as far as internal development. I think he made a big mistake on not going forward with developing their own digital currency. They still use the French franc, I believe, as their dollar. So that's something they can work out later on. But he has done a great deal to make his country a little more self-sufficient, and not rely on outside loans and taking outside money, which I think is good. You know, if you don't want others to have a say in what's going on in your country, don't take the money. I've always said that. So I commend him for doing a lot of things, developing processing food for processing factories. So rather than export their food and then import it back in as processed food, they decide to build their own food factories or processing centers to process the food they grow and to sell it with their neighboring countries to promote more intercontinental trade. So like I said, as far as building roads, I think they bought their first airplane or two, so they're trying to develop an airport system, schools and hospitals. So some of their money is going to some very good usage, which is a little different than what you normally expect from the average African dictator in Africa. But the problem I have, Uncle Sarbitan, is even though he spoke about someone trying to assassinate him, take his life, the possibility of another coup to take over from his enemies, he referred to them as them, although he didn't quite identify who the them was. I assume he's probably talking about the West when they don't want you or they don't agree with you that they will organize an assassination or a coup against you. But coups and assassination is how he became leader of the country. He was a captain of the military, and you and your buddies exercised a coup and took over and called it a revolution. But the coup is how you became president. And no matter how great a dictator you are, you're still a dictator. And you still run the possibility, if you don't codify a legitimate means for people to elect their leaders, have a say and a voice, then you're going to die at some point, or someone's going to take you out at some point, and the leadership is going to change hands. The next leader may not be as benevolent as you are. They may go back to the ways, because he talked about the three temptations that dictators fall into, the traps that he's avoided: arresting your enemies and people who speak out against you. So I guess he's made a rule that it's okay to criticize him in the government, that he'll sit down and talk with you about any criticism that you have rather than arrest you. Not letting his friends and family members use their position to take advantage. He talked about a really good friend of his in the revolution that he had to refer for prosecution, who was using his position for bribery, bribes, and shakedowns. Um, so he had to let the rule of law take its place. I mean, all these things are great things. But once again, if you don't codify them and solidify them into law, then the next person to come to power can undo it. Just like you put them in place, somebody else can undo it and go back to less benevolent means of running the country. What say you?
Well, there's a lot to unpack there. You
Okay,
laid out.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I mean, take as much time as you need. There is a lot to unpack there.
Well, it's not so much as taking much time as I need. Is that just like you, I have matured in recent times, and I can't remember it all, but I'll take a stab at it. So Ibrahim Traore is not in a vacuum. He exists amongst he and two other leaders in the Sahel region of West Africa, fondly referred to as the three wise men, which are Ibrahim Traore, Assimi Goïta in Mali, and Abdurrahmani Chiani in Niger. And what they did was they broke away from ECOWAS, which is the Economic Community of West African States, because ECOWAS is funded and led by the West. And they also are not participating with, or at odds, if you will, with the African Union, which is also largely funded and run by the West. So what happened in Burkina Faso in particular, there was a coup of a particular person, soldier, and apparently he was still a puppet of the French, the West, and then Ibrahim Traore wrested, and he and his forces wrested the helm from him. There was no bloodshed because the guy that they took the helm from is in Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast right now, who is also the guy who has been spearheading the coup attempts against Ibrahim Traore. So
Okay, so he
Ibrahim,
took it from one person, that person trying to take it back. Is what you're saying.
it it doesn't matter. I mean, if you got something, somebody's gonna come after you. And
Okay.
especially if you're a puppet of the West do not want to relinquish power in any capacity. We've seen that throughout history. We see that on the African continent. We see that here in the U.S. We talked about COINTELPRO. Any step that the oppressed try to make, the Western powers enact machinations to thwart whatever efforts you make. Look at Haiti. They have to pay the French for their freedom. That doesn't even sound right? So the way that the French have kept the boot on the neck of the Francophone countries, these are the former French colonies, the African countries that are the former French colonies, is that they take their money. And you have to deposit almost like 80% or something into French banks of your reserves, your gold, your money, whatever. And then if you want to use it, you have to apply to use it. In the meantime, they're in your country. They are holding sham elections. I mean, where in the Western world do you have African leaders overseeing elections? But in Africa, every election is overseen by Western powers. As a matter of fact, if you hold an election in Africa and someone like Museveni, who is the leader of Uganda, they have elections the 17th. What's today? Friday, I guess? What's the 14th, 15th, 16th? Saturday or something? He's been in power for almost, 50 years or more?
Yes.
They don't say anything. These old guys get in. They've been in there 40, 50 years. They change the Constitution to extend their terms. And what does the West do? They applaud it. But when and nothing changes in the country. The minerals are still taken out of the ground. They're still shipped off to the West. And the only reason we live the way we do, these comfortable lifestyles that we live, is because of Africa. There's no other reason. It's because the wealth is stolen out of Africa and the people suffer. So they don't say anything when you have these old guys been in power 40, 50 years. They don't say anything when these guys change the constitutions to remain in power. The West doesn't say anything when they ban any type of opposition. But when someone and everything stays the same, the people languish, the resources are taken. But when someone like Ibrahim Traore, Semi Goita, and Abdurrahmani Chiani come into power, and they actually use the resources for the benefit of the people, it doesn't matter if you're elected or not. The people support them because they even sleep outside of what the Burkina Faso equivalent of the White House is. People sleep out on the street, and when that whole coup attempt went down, they were in the streets up in arms to protect their president. Matter of fact, for the first time in my life, I met someone from the Central African Republic. She was a Uber driver. Turned out she was about my age. She had a grandson, 2 years old, first grandchild. And when I mentioned his name, she almost wrecked the car because it started, oh, I love him. I love him. We all love him. So when the West talks about elections and this type of thing, or someone takes it in a coup, it doesn't matter who the person is or what they are. If they're doing it for the benefit of the people, wresting the resources back to the people from the West and putting them towards the good of the nation, hey, you do what you have to do.
Okay, so it's going to be an almost dangerous moment because I nearly almost agree with you. So I'm a big fan of his also, even though I just recently discovered him about 6 months ago. But the more I look into the things and reforms that he's making, I agree with him. He's doing the right thing. Only problem I have is that how do you solidify and codify this where it becomes no matter who's in charge of the country that you continue on this track. My concern is that just like you came to power, next person could come to power and undo everything that you. How do you codify this so it becomes permanent that no matter who's the next leader, be it elected or coup or somebody dying in office, it doesn't matter, and whoever the next leader is, that the reforms that you've made become permanent.
So the first thing is what the three wise men did was to create the Alliance of Sahel States, AES. So it's foundational. It's permanent. They broke away again from ECOWAS, so that is established. Excuse me. They have their own. They have launched their own passports, those types of things, and all the workings of government are underway behind the scenes. Again, you mentioned the currency. If they haven't launched it or they haven't created it, they are launching it. As I reported on this program, this platform a couple of weeks ago, they launched their own investment bank. So all those things are underway. And FYI, it is still a transitional government. They call themselves a transitional government. But as far as I'm concerned, it can be transitional or not. As long as they are creating the electric vehicles as an industry, you mentioned they have the processing plants for their fruits and vegetables and those types of things.
Their own food, yeah.
They have a plan for the pavement of they only have so many thousands of miles of road paved, and they're planning on paving those. They are building military vehicles. All those things are going on. They have I don't know what you want to call it, but it's sort of what kind of like the propaganda, what we call in this country, patriotism, where you learn American history and you pledge allegiance to the country or whatever. So they have that program as well. So that is to say,
patriot for your country.
That is to say,
I think that's a good thing to replace tribalism in Africa. So you should have a.
Well, it's more complicated than that in the sense that this country or any other country in the West didn't have the West come in and draw arbitrary lines dividing so-called tribes or ethnicities. So those ties don't go away easily, but that is not the primary because they live in harmony, just like in Nigeria. Muslims live in harmony with Christians, despite what the West has propagandized. The Igbo and the House of Fulani and the Yoruba live in harmony, as well as 300 other ethnic groups and as many languages. So they do live in harmony. That's not the issue. So again, when the West comes in and foments conflict, that is the problem.
Now, do they have between the three countries? I know they're setting up trading jobs.
23 countries.
I'm sorry.
You say 23 countries. 23.
Oh, I said 3 countries. the 23 countries. Do they have open travel? You say they're coming with their own
Absolutely.
visas. Can you travel from country to country openly?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. I know there's so many
That
trading
was one of
blocks.
the what ECOWAS was, like I said, Economic Community of West African States. You can travel from any member state. I think it was 14 or 16. I can't remember. Mauritania pulled out years back. But you could travel from country to country on your passport. So AES has done that as well.
Okay. Do you know about the digital currency that they turn to I guess I don't know which banks they turn to help them develop it. Um, but I know the deal got nixed in the end over a requirement for $300 million in gold to use as a deposit against the loan for the digital currency to give it value.
I don't know anything about that. I do
Okay.
know that France was holding up. Burkina Faso had, I think it was Burkina Faso had requested their gold reserves, and because of trumped up reasons, the gold is sitting on the docks in France, and they won't release it.
Why is the French holding on to their
Ask the
gold?
French. Ask the French. What do you think?
Okay. Well, I don't know why, but they probably should have never shipped it there to start with.
Exactly. This is the point I made earlier. When we talk about neocolonialism, that is exactly neocolonialism. That is exactly what we're talking about. The same thing with
Yeah,
Haiti.
if
The
you
same
ship
thing with
somebody
the
their
other
gold,
francophone countries.
you may take a chance of them shipping it back. But anyway, I know that they
When you have a
now.
puppet leader, when you put your boy in charge, then of course the gold is going to go to their country. That's the whole point.
Well, I mean, we're in agreement on that one. So, but that's my concern is that more countries should be doing this. Control your resources, refine your own, and process your own resources. Don't sell raw resources and then buy them back after they've been processed. You'll never win that way.
So
Set up your own mining
I'm
company.
sorry, Jimmy. If
Huh?
you give me 1 second, I just want to speak to exactly what you're talking about. If you look up, if you Google the agreement to continue colonialism, it will give you the proper name of the document. I can't recall the proper name of the document, but it outlines exactly what you're talking about. How, and then if you read Kwame Nkrumah, who was the first prime minister of independent Ghana, his book Neocolonialism, the Last Stage of Imperialism, all of this is outlined how the resources, unrefined resources, and reserves were shipped out and exploited by the West, and
Okay,
how
so
Africa has ended
we
up
know the
in the
past
situation it is
atrocities have
today.
happened, but going forward, you need to just put a stop to it. Setting up your own mining company, digging it out of the ground yourself is a good thing. Refining your own gold in the bars is a good thing. I've even heard that they've now starting to set up their own jewelry companies to take the gold and minerals that they dig up out of the ground and refine them and process them into jewelry to sell in the open market. These are all things that countries that control resources should be doing for themselves. But once you ship the raw product out and buy back the refined product or the processed product for much higher value, it started out you owned it to start with, and you're buying it back at a higher price because somebody else has done something to it. You'll never catch up wealth-wise that way. So, like I said, I am happy about all the reforms that are taking place there. I hope it spreads like a fire in the woods, like and just catch on everywhere. Um, that would be an answer. But my concern is that you may have a benevolent dictator that people love who's doing all the right things today. But how long are you going to be around before someone takes you out to take you down or you die and the next person doesn't share your vision, share your sense of duty to the people, not trying to build roads, hospitals, or schools. But the other thing he talked about was the fact that they need to be more like Taiwan. Taiwan doesn't have any natural resources. They have brain power, and they're one of the wealthiest countries in the world because of what they produce with their brains. So he talked about the need of retaining, rather than people leave to go to Europe or America for a paycheck and a quality of life, that the talent that Africa produces need to stay in Africa so they can help grow and develop. So he's putting a lot more effort into the schools and building schools and increasing schools, increase their brain. So all these are all wonderful things that every nation, no matter where you are, should be doing for their people. Like I said, my biggest concern is that just how you came to power, they come to power the same way. They catch you off guard or catch you on the right day or catch you slipping security wise, and they may not share your sense of duty to do the right thing.
So I mean, I don't understand your concern in the sense that
my concern is I don't want the reforms he's making to be undone.
But I don't understand why you would think that. Why are you concentrating on that or even bringing it up when in this country and around? Wait a minute.
Okay.
In this country, we've had several presidential assassinations. In other countries around the world, presidents have been assassinated. I object to the term dictator. He simply took power by force when the person Museveni is a dictator.
Yes.
Ruto is a dictator. So I mean, it means nothing at that point, and those people are puppets. But you don't refer to them as puppets when you refer to them. If you refer to them at all, what I'm saying is, he just like any other head of state. Hell, they took what's the cat name in Haiti? Jean-Claude Aristide. The U.S. abducted him. They just abducted Maduro from. So anytime that you're a head of state, something like that can happen. That's not something to focus on. The focus should be on what is he doing to better the country.
Okay, so
he's doing all the right things because the people support him and the people are protecting him.
So you asked me why was I
or them rather.
So let me share that. Let me give you that answer, and then I'll let you finish. Here in America, hypothetically, here in America, if you got together 100, 200, 500, whatever number, it could be whatever number you want, of soldiers, fellow soldiers, and y'all stormed the White House.
You mean like January 6th?
You took the orange man.
You mean like January 6th, right? Okay.
Okay. No, that wasn't that was Capitol. But I'm saying the White House. If you stormed the White House and you arrested the orange man, kicked him out of the White House, and then held a press conference and said, okay, I'm in charge now. Me and my buds, we've taken over. We've arrested the orange man, and I'm the new head of state. I'm the new president. First of all, the bureaucracy wouldn't go for it. The courts wouldn't go for it. The military wouldn't go for it. Law enforcement would go for it. But on top of that, we have over 600 million guns in this country.
But they did.
Let's just say 1% of those people who own guns, which is about 6 million people, would storm D.C. if they had to and take back the White House. But things like that, just that kind of overtake of government would not happen. We have a process here. We call them elections. That's how we get rid of bad leaders and put in the leaders that we want, good or bad, for their replacement. So it's still up to a voice of the people. We have a process. So my concern is that if you come to power by the gun, you can be taken down by the gun, and the things that he's put in place can be undone by the next leader. I don't want things undone. I'm selfish. I look at it, I say, wow, someone is finally doing some really good things across the board. You know, he talked about the 3 pillars of temptation that he had to resist. You know, freedom of expression, having the freedom to criticize the government, not letting your friends and family take advantage of their positions in corruption, and arresting your political enemies. You know, that all the folks around him when he came to power told him that you need to go out and arrest all these people because they're speaking out against you. But he talked about how he resisted that. Okay, so great. You resisted that. That don't mean that the next person, next man or woman or whoever comes to power, be it popular or not, they may not resist it. They may undo everything that you've done. And then when you're right back trying to start over with the people catching hell and progress has been done. So that's my concern. That's why I'm concerned. So what say you?
So several again, you put a lot out there. Okay, so you talk about the White House, the storming the White House. I mean, that's kind of what they did. It was an attempted coup. It was a failed coup. and because of they had the complexion for the connection, nothing really happened. As a matter of fact, they were all pardoned. So why is there a fear of Ibrahim Traore Assimi Goita to somebody taking? So the other thing is they are, because you're not aware of what they're doing, these are intelligent people. They are putting their program into practice, just like anybody else would. So there's no, and they're not the first or the only people who are trying to do good things. As I've just said, in history supports me, is that Thomas Sankara, his predecessor, did the same thing and the West killed him. But then you have people like Museveni, what's the guy's name in Cameroon? Paul Biya, who's been in there. This guy's completely seen. He's more senile than Trump. He don't know where he is on any day. And the West is saying nothing. They just say he won the election. He didn't even win the election. He just said he won, and then they gave it to him. They said nothing. So don't be concerned about Ibrahim Traore. Wait a minute, don't be concerned about the three wise men. They're gonna be all right. Be concerned when you say they're doing good things. Be concerned about what's not being done or what is being done so things won't be done on the African continent. That's what we should be concerned about. Because it is your government that is doing that. It is your government that is making the people of Cameroon, Uganda, Kenya, Guinea-Bissau, any Central African Republic, anywhere, Senegal, Gambia, Congo. It's your government that's making them poor. And you live the way you live. We live the way we live because those people are poor. That's what you can be concerned about. Don't be concerned about.
That's where we're going to totally disagree, because our government, you may not claim it, but it is my government. My government is not making Africa poor.
Okay.
Africans are making Africa poor.
Okay.
So
that's what you don't know. You don't know. Do some more study. I applaud you, Jimmy, on the work that you did on Burkina Faso. I applaud that. You should have done that. You should have done that a long time ago. So I applaud that. You came with your A game today.
Well,
it was wait a minute. It was a B game. It was a B game, but I give you credit for it.
Okay, right? I'll take the B.
But you need to do more research. Read, as I said, read Walter Rodney's How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. Read that book. Read Kwame Nkrumah. Neocolonialism is the last stage of imperialism. Read that, and you will understand.
I will. I'll take your challenge up, because generally, whatever you challenge me to do, I know.
And also read, and like I said, Google the agreement to continue colonialism. Look, Google that, and it'll give you the information you need. Read that.
It's Europe's responsibility. It's not America's responsibility to develop Africa. It's Africans' responsibility to develop Africa.
And nobody said anything. I don't agree with that. What I have a problem with is when you sabotage it
by blaming others for your lack of. Now, you mentioned some leaders that are not doing what they're supposed to do. They can sit back and blame the West. They can blame the Europeans.
Also mentioned Sankara, who
they want. They can blame slavery. They can blame colonization. They can blame the raping of Africa. Okay, all valid claims in the past.
But you act like
what are you doing today to fix your situation? If you're not doing anything today to fix your situation,
the first thing, Jimmy, is they need. We talk about this for argument's sake. Let's say slavery. Slavery just didn't end and everything was equal. Even in this country, slavery didn't end. We freed ourselves and we had nothing. So every stride we took. Oh, now they want to put us back into sharecropping. They're still cheating us. So then we make another stride. Then they put us in prison, work farms, and you still a slave because you get hired out to somebody and you don't get any other money. Okay, so then we made some more strides. Then they start burning down the cities and the communities that we had. Okay, so then they start bombing Osage Avenue. They COINTELPRO that you don't know anything about. J. Edgar Hoover, under J. Edgar Hoover, FBI. They put the Panthers are responsible for the free lunch programs in public schools. They're also responsible for I can't even remember the like ambulance services. That's where that came from, for community ambulances. But what did the government do? They killed the leaders and tore up the organization. This is what they. So what I'm saying is, you're talking about do for yourself. Everything we've done for ourselves in this country has been sabotaged, but we have not stopped. So don't get it twisted.
Program
For you to sit there and say, "Oh, well, you should do for yourself," and
you should do for yourself.
But you don't. You're not.
The money for that free lunch program that you talk about with the Black parents came from the government. The money for the schools came from the government.
I refuse to believe that you're that stupid. I refuse to believe that.
We can't both talk at the same time, Uncle Sar. So either you're gonna let me talk or you're gonna talk over me.
Well, let me talk. So I refuse to believe that you're that stupid to think.
The name calling is not even called for.
I'm not. I didn't call your name. That's a reflection on me. I said I refuse to believe. I refuse. Right. I didn't call you stupid. I said I refuse to believe that.
That stupid is something that's measurable. So you can't say that I'm that stupid. Not that you can't believe I'm stupid. You said that stupid, which is even a more extreme word. I'm not stupid at all. I'm just telling you, I look at it from both ways. You said I'm supposed to be talking, but you cut me off to correct my language, I say what I want to say, right? Let you insult me, and then I
didn't insult you.
Uncle, so how many times have I ever said I can't believe that you're that stupid?
You gonna let me talk?
If you can do it without being insulting or cursing, because it's a family show, then I'll let you speak. Go ahead.
Watched it. I'm not gonna go off on a tangent, but I've watched this show for many years, and you be cussing.
Me?
Let's be clear. Let's go back and look at the tape, bro. Let's go back and look at the tape. I'm a faithful viewer. I'm not gonna do it because I know I don't need to. I'm telling you to go. But that's besides the point. That's beside the point. So don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. This is a diversion. You learned that from your government.
My friends who know me, and the one thing they can definitely say
you cuss on this show, Jimmy.
Hold on. I don't use profanity. That's for weak-minded people.
Oh my gosh, Jimmy! I sit here every Wednesday.
Okay, go
for the past I don't know how many years, and I've heard profanity come out of your mouth.
All the episodes 2018 on YouTube. Go back and find any one of them. And where
I don't have to go back that far.
Oh, okay. Just go back and find one.
I can't. But you see what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I'm done. Go ahead. Let it go. You're right. I'm wrong. I don't believe my lying ears. Go ahead. That's ridiculous. Go ahead.
It's a simple fix, Uncle. So just go find the episode where I use profanity.
I'm not going back through that. It's any episode. Let's go back. Since I've been in this apartment, which has only been.
You know what? Then if you can't,
how many months? Hold on. You said go back and find. Go look on every week that you've been on this. That you've been on the show for November, let's say December, November, October. Go look on every one of those weeks and tell me if you did not use profanity. Find the week that you did not.
I did not. I don't use profanity. That's for weak-minded people.
Let's move on, man.
That's for to me.
But you come on, man. You're being disingenuous. Let's just move on. Drop it. Let's move on.
We don't move on when you're ready to move on. So I let you speak. So it's my turn to speak.
No, but you're sitting here telling me you're gonna accuse me of calling you names, but you sitting here telling me I'm a liar when I know what I heard.
I'm that stupid. That's what you said. Now
I didn't call you a name, but at the same time, you're sitting here telling me I didn't believe what I was. That's insulting too. You're calling me a liar.
To be polite to you.
You're calling me a liar to the same extent that I called you stupid. Can we agree on that? Can we agree on that and move on?
What we can agree on is that I get a chance to speak on my show. It's my show also. So if you just be quiet, I let you speak.
I'm asking you to come to an agreement. Let's come to consensus. Let's come to consensus.
I'm showing you a great deal of respect, man to man.
I'm showing you a great deal of respect. No, you're not, because
every time I speak, you speak over me. So just let me speak. You may not like what I have to hear, what I have to say.
Okay, say your point.
My point is that people who use profanity to me are weak-minded people. I don't use profanity. I'm not that weak-minded. Now, I may insult you. I may call you a name, but I'm not going to use profanity. I know I don't. Personally, I don't. But anyway, we're going to move on.
Well, let me rebut real quick, and then we'll move on. What if I do go through the links to find it? Then what? When it shows that you've used profanity,
Go
then what?
find it for me.
No. I'm
the
asking
show.
you. I'm asking. Let's do it now because
I'm
I want to know if
answering
it's
your
going to be worth
question.
me finding.
You said what happens next?
You
I'm
said
gonna
go
tell you
find it.
what
I'm not
happens
going to
next.
find it
What
until you
happens
tell me
next
what the.
is I will come on here and say that you were right and that I was wrong, and we can play the evidence.
No,
you're
a slave and you're a proponent of this capitalist system. Let's put some money on the line. I bet you $5,000 here on live podcast. $5,000.
So I'm
I
not
can
gonna get my
find several
$5,000
incidents.
out of you.
$5,000.
Sure.
$5,000. Put your money where your mouth is.
Okay, go find it.
$5,000. Is it a bet?
Curse.
Is it a bet?
Yes.
Okay, $5,000.
Yes. Go find it.
Okay, $5,000.
We have every episode from
$5,000
2018 to today.
I don't play with my money. $5,000.
So go find it.
Are you agreeing to the $5,000? I'm not playing.
What's there to play with? You see it happens every week. So just go back last week.
$5,000. Okay.
So the only person cursing on the show is you. So go back last week and find
$5,000.
Okay.
But you have a caveat somewhere.
We got that exercise of utility passed. I was trying to have a civil conversation with you, but this is what it evolves to.
Oh, it's my fault.
You being silly,
me
trying to be emotional. You're far too emotional to be a logical man. I don't understand that.
Number one, there's nothing wrong with emotion. That's a human trait. And there's a time maybe if we had more emotion in this world, it would be a better world because we got people like you.
What I find is that women tend to be more emotional than men. Real men are logical thinkers.
We're human beings. It has nothing to do with male or female.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
So you an estrogen?
No, it does not.
With your emotions.
Jimmy, you're insulting me now.
I did. I agree with you. I did say that I do insult, but I don't curse.
But that's okay. But that's an attribute. Or you saying that's an attribute? Okay, well, fine. If we're gonna do that, then let's do this. If you're gonna insult me, then I'm gonna insult you back.
I can certainly call you more woman-like. So what's wrong with that? You calling me stupid, but I can't call you woman-like?
What the hell are you talking about? You're more dog-like. Okay. You're more moron-like. You sit here and boast about you talk about you're a genius. You're not a genius. What did you say your IQ is?
168.
That's a lie. The scale only goes to 160. It doesn't go to 168. It goes to 160 because they can't measure it after that. Anything after 160 is a projection of some historical figures. As a matter of fact, you say you're a member of Mensa. Where did you take your test?
Been a member of Mensa since 1894 in New Orleans.
1894.
Said 1984.
Where did you take your test?
What's that difference? What difference does it make?
Where did you take your test?
What difference does it make?
Who proctored your test?
What difference does it make?
Exactly. That's what I thought. Okay. Number one, it doesn't go to 168. And number two, the test are proctored.
First of all, my first IQ test was 164. It does go.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not. No, it does not.
My second test is 168.
And your level of analysis and your investigation skills and level of analysis are pedestrian, and they're not given genius.
I'm a member of an organization of the top 2% most intelligent people in the world, and I have the paperwork to prove it. So I don't have to prove anything to you, Uncle Saul. I know I am. People who know me know this. They've seen it.
Okay.
So you like I tell you. Sometimes you have to be smart on the ground you walk on, which means don't be dumb as a rock. So you want to challenge me? I don't know what you get out of it. I'm not trying to challenge you.
No, you keep putting that out there, Jimmy. Nobody asked you about it. You put that out there to me like 3 times, and I never asked for it.
Because you keep making these insinuations.
It had nothing to do with anything I said about you. Nothing. And you just put it out there. You just put it out there on your own. I never asked.
First of all, when you tell me that I'm dumb as a rock, I'm a moron.
I never said you were dumb as a rock. I said I refuse to believe that you're that stupid. And I do refuse to believe that you're that stupid. I refuse to believe that.
You refuse? Okay, then
that's a compliment. That's a compliment, brother.
You can be correct. I'm not that stupid. I'm not stupid at all. I'm very smart. Just like I commend you for being very smart, even though you don't use your knowledge and intelligence
You don't have to.
in a
You don't
very,
have to.
very
You
good
don't have
way.
to commend me for being smart.
Because some of your arguments
I
are
don't
very
necessarily think I'm
flawed.
smart, but I have good investigation and analytical skills. That's
You
all
may
I got.
have. But my only complaint with you and sometimes with Mr. Tommy is that y'all overlook personal responsibility. Y'all don't want to put the responsibility of people making decisions for themselves on themselves. Everything is to
Nobody's
blame
overlooking
America,
that.
blame the West, blame somebody else for every problem, every misdirection, every
Nobody's
bad
blaming.
mistake.
Nobody's
Sometimes
blaming
people just
anybody.
make
We're looking at
mistakes on things,
historical
son.
documents. We're looking at it. This is where,
Sometimes,
again, this is where your
sometimes the
analytical
results
skills
of
and your
Africa
investigation skills lack.
because African leaders have made bad decisions. It's not all about the West taking them down. Sometimes people just make bad mistakes, do dumb things,
But
do
Jimmy,
selfish things.
you are denying an entire history of a nation that has done nothing but. John Henry Clark even said. He said the European has never done it. He has always wanted what someone else had that he couldn't live without and didn't want to pay for. And history proves that.
So what? What's it got to do with bad decision making in Africa?
If you can't make that
Once
connection.
again, it's always about somebody else. Always about white people, about America, about the orange man, about European. It's never ever that Africans just made bad decisions sometimes. Go down the wrong path.
Nobody said they never have, Jimmy.
Well, I read
You're refusing to see a very
all
important piece of the
I use the
puzzle.
blame placed on others. Where has you ever placed blame on the leadership of Africa?
What's the next issue, man?
The next issue is the OMEC. We're going to talk about the OMEC. I already eaten up segment 3. Okay.
I told you to go on 20 minutes ago. Did I not? Did I say 50 times? Let's move on.
This is my fault because I went down the rabbit hole.
Personal responsibility, yes. Take your personal responsibility.
So personal responsibility is my fault. That's what real men do. Let's talk about the OMEC.
So are you implying that I'm not a real man? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not implying anything. I said real men take responsibility.
I'm just asking. I just wanted to be sure that
I said real men take responsibility.
I'm just
so
trying to make sure you're not.
If you do, then you take responsibility. So anyway, let's talk about the OMEC. Did you get a chance to watch the video that I put out?
No, I did not.
Or do you have personal history on them also?
I'm sorry?
The OMEC. The rubber people, I think.
OMEC heads?
Huh?
The OMEC heads?
The people, the civilization, the people themselves, not just the heads.
I don't know.
No? Well, you've seen the heads at least then, have you? You familiar with the
Absolutely.
heads? You mentioned them?
Yes, I mentioned them on this program.
Do you think the heads look African?
Yes.
Do you think they were from Africa?
Do you not? What do you mean from Africa?
I believe they are, but
what do you mean from Africa?
Archaeologists and scholars believe that no, they're not.
So read again. Let's go back to read Ivan Van Sertima's They Came Before Columbus, and then go through his bibliography and pick out some books in there and read those. And then go to wherever you can find Christopher Columbus's diaries, and then he'll talk about he saw black people in this region of the world. So
we're in agreement on there.
I don't know if we're in agreement, but yeah, go ahead.
So even when we agree on history, your stubbornness doesn't allow your ego to allow you to agree with it.
My ego.
Even when we agree. Is that what you're saying? You don't know if you agree?
I never said that. You're making assumptions, Jimmy. Don't make assumptions. Just move on with the story.
I said I agree with you. You said I don't know about that.
I don't know about it because you'll come up with something else, some other nonsense, something that the Olmec heads are not personal responsibility. The Africans should have taken them with them. Come on, man.
I'm not coming up with anything, Uncle. So you're taking it way too personal.
Okay.
So this is just a discussion. And once again, I'm looking at it from both sides. I know that may be a little challenging for you. So I'm looking at those who say that the Olmec were from Africa, those who say I'm looking at the evidence from both sides. We're just having a discussion. It's not about my personal view. My personal view is, you just asked me, I told you. Yes, I think they were from Africa. So, but that's not the discussion. The discussion was looking at it from both sides.
What's the both sides?
It's not a personal thing.
What's the both sides?
The both sides is that although the evidence, even though it's a little circumstantial, But if you had watched the video that I put out, that one, some of the DNA tracers back to markers that only found in ancient Africans from 10,000 plus years ago. So they're found in this region of Mexico and Central America, where the so-called Olmec or the rubber people lived and grew their cities. So that's one. Two, that from examining Egypt, that cocaine was found in some of the bodies, some of the mummies. But we know that cocaine is primarily grown in Central and South America, not grown anyplace else in the world. So there had to be some means to get it to Africa and then across the continent over to Egypt for it to be in people's systems. So that's another, that and the metal tips of the spears that were from 10, 12,000 years ago that were primarily only found in Africa, were found in Central and South America. So there had to be maybe some trade going on. So I'm saying there's a lot of circumstantial evidence to suggest that the Olmec were trading, came to the Americas, set up shop here, influenced, and they were here before the Incas, before the Aztecs, before the Mayans, before any of the great American civilizations. But there's still a debate going on whether they were African or not. Some say they were from Asia. They came across the American land bridge, that they didn't have the ability to navigate the ocean to travel here. So just an intellectual conversation. Not that I'm for or against any argument. I already told you, asked me how I felt, I told you. So we're just having a discussion to weed out or vet out some of the pros and cons of both sides.
So I shared all the information a couple of times on this platform. Again, the best source, and it's not a debate, just like the color of the ancient Kemetu or ancient Egyptian, but they're not the Egyptian, that's the Ptolemaic. Anyway, there's not a debate. It's only a debate in the public. Serious scientists know that the Egyptians were black people. Herodotus said it. Some other people at the contemporaries of their time said it. Just like these Olmec heads and the presence of Africans in the Americas prior to the Portuguese or the European coming to this hemisphere, Africans were there. You mentioned the botanical evidence. You mentioned the metallurgical evidence. There is also linguistic evidence. And if you go to Ile Ife, where I've been, you'll find that there are corn cobs beneath paved roads. Now, corn is from here. So again, yeah, there was trade between the two. So we say this to explode the propaganda, the brainwash that the West has promulgated about Africa being backward, having no history, when in fact we had grand civilizations well before the Europeans. We traveled the globe well before Europeans. We shipped elephants to China. But if you listen to Western historiography, they'll say that we didn't have the capacity to do such.
Well, once again, another couple of tidbits of information that we can both agree on there. So there's not much separation between it as you theory is, or you want there to be. But anyway, so looking at the evidence and a couple of things that you brought up also. So I do believe that there was trade between Africa and the Americas, and that we were here long before what we call Native Americans, or certainly before the Europeans or the Asians arrived here.
I don't think that we were here before the so-called Native Americans. I think, as the science shows that, well, so African people, Black African, I hate to use that term, but to make the point that they were our predecessors, peopled the world. The leucoderm, the white-skinned person, didn't even come into existence until about 5 to 10,000 years ago. To be on the safe side, 10,000 years ago. So we peopled the earth. When you look at India, when you look at China and those countries in the Pacific Rim, and when they crossed the land bridge, those were African people.
Yeah, that's correct.
Had they changed their complexion or their phenotype when they before they crossed the big bridge. I'm not too certain, but I'm not going to take away the contributions that those people who made their journey from Alaska down to the tip of South America and people the Western Hemisphere. I'm going to take anything away from them. But what I am saying is that we had an integral part, or we contributed to, and we had experiences on this side of the globe when the West says we did not, and they continue to say that because it's not taught in any history book in public schools or private schools for that matter. And the current administration has taken upon itself to wipe away our history, to recurate the so-called African American Museum in DC, to take monuments down to fallen soldiers. As a matter of fact, I think it's Denmark. They removed a monument, and the people are in black soldiers who contributed in one of the world wars, and the people in that country are up in arms because they removed it. So again, science proves it. It's the public who doesn't know, and it's the government, the Western governments, who wants it covered up.
Well, you know, the good thing is that we're all capable of educating ourselves. So it's totally up to government to educate us. And if you allow them to take issue away from you, and you don't pass it on, you don't educate yourself and pass it on, well, then you become part of the problem also. You allow your government to do that. Anyway, with that being said, we only have a few minutes left. So let's recap some of the things that we both agree on. That the OMAC.
You know, Jimmy, I have texted, not to cut you off, but I have texted Tommy several times over the years during the show that I do. If you say something that I agree with, I readily say it. I agree with Jimmy. So don't get it twisted. And I hate that you are emphasizing this and making and you know, whatever you're twisting it and trying to say, oh, I'm trying to fight our agreement. I have agreed with you. So let's just leave it at that. But where there is room for disagreement with you, there is room for disagreement with you.
Okay, fine. You want to make it a personal thing? I'm just saying that.
But that's come on, man. Don't do. See what I'm saying?
None of what we talk about is worth a personal discussion. It's not personal to me. I don't care about it one way or the other. What you think, what you believe or don't believe, it's up to you. Everybody has to be has to make.
It's not even. You see what I'm saying? You're trying to be skillful at propaganda like your government. You throw dog whistles out there, and then you try to absolutely when you say. What did you just say? Oh, it's not personal. That's a dog whistle. When you say, oh, you're being emotional, that's a dog whistle because you're trying to discount my analysis and my scholarship. But that's cool. So if you know, we could have more productive conversations if you don't do that.
First of all, Uncle Sar, there's no way to say it's not personal without saying it's not personal. And I say
you don't have to say that some things that don't need to be said.
Hold on, finish, please. And the reason I point out your emotional state because it's hard to have an intellectual conversation.
No, it's not with me.
But
these are the dog whistles I'm talking about. I don't mind. You can call it emotional, whatever. I'm a passionate person. I am an animated person. This is what I thrive on. Don't throw a dog whistle and say, "Oh, he's emotional. I can't have no." If you can't keep up,
no, I can't deal with it.
Well, you can't deal with it. Then you can't. They say you can't deal with it.
So don't
try to put no label on me. Don't put no label on me.
I can't deal with having an intellectual conversation with emotional people because to me,
you see what I'm saying. You're still saying it. I'm telling you, I'm a passionate person. I'm an animated person. I'm an energetic person.
Animated, passionate, all emotional to me.
And for you to use the term emotional, you're trying to say something untoward. And I don't appreciate that. Just say you can't keep up with that. Or you whatever you want to say.
I just said I can't keep up with emotional people.
That's a dog whistle.
I'm admitting that.
After the fact, that's a dog whistle.
I'm not an emotional person like that. I'd rather say it.
You see what I'm saying?
So yes, I can't keep up with emotional people.
You're still trying to be slick, but you ain't slick.
And nobody doesn't be slick
about. You ain't slick, brother.
I don't curse. I don't deal with folks on the emotional level.
I know I better get that. I better get that Zelle or that PayPal or check in the mail for $5,000. I know I better get that.
Yeah. Go find the clip. And on top of that, that goes both ways. If you don't find the clip, I'll see you an invoice for $5,000.
Absolutely.
So you go find that clip. I'll give you what's today.
No. You don't put parameters on it. I will find it on my own time because it's there. I'm not gonna go to any. You got myself. So what if okay, wait a minute. Let's say you give me 6 months to find. Let's say you give me 6 months to find it. After 6 months and I find it, I don't get the $5,000. It still exists.
That you still looking for. You just need more time.
No, it won't. Because I need $5,000. I need your $5,000.
If all this evidence is out there, like you said last week, the week before, in fact, you went back to September of last year. You said every week. So this should be difficult to find. I'm giving you a month.
But you know, I only have to find one.
14th, 1 month, 4 weeks.
I only have to find one. Only have to find one. And to your credit. Wait a minute. And to your credit, y'all have always said it's a family show, and I would laugh. And the first time you did it, I was shocked. And then you did it the second time, I was shocked again. And the third time, I was shocked. So when I got on the show, I was like, okay. I was like, okay, so it's not one show. So I was like, okay, it's okay then. So that's why I did it. Because I saw the longitude, the latitude that you gave yourself.
So you're not an original who can just govern yourself. You got to look at the behavior of others.
No, because I read the room. No, I read the room.
That's what you just said.
I read the room. I did not say I was not an individual, Jimmy. You're being disingenuous. You're being disingenuous.
That's what you just said. Now you want to walk it back.
I didn't say I wasn't original. I didn't say that. You cussed. Give my $5,000. Let's say that. Let's just put it there. $5,000 when I find it.
February 14th.
I don't have to find it. I can just put it on.
I'm gonna give you a month, and I'm gonna see you the invoice after that. On the 15th, if you be so kind to mail me your address, I'm gonna send you my invoice.
So $5,000 for each instance. $5,000 for each instance. Okay, well if you're gonna put stipulation, $5,000 for each instance.
4 weeks.
$5,000 for each instance.
So anyway, we are a little bit over time, which is okay.
For each instance.
People are gonna close out. I would say I'm gonna give Uncle Sor the last word, but he already has taken the last word. Over talking me. So I hope you guys enjoyed the discussion. We'll be back next week. Tommy T. Duncan should be back next week. So it'll be a fair fight. It'll be 2 against 1, like it is just about every week.
You can have
anyway, it's only fair if I put both hands and only use half my brain against the 2 people. But anyway, that's another story. Y'all take care. We'll see you next week. Anyway, I still love you, Uncle Saul. You're still my favorite person out in Austin. Once again, none of this is personal with me, man. I enjoy our discussion, so I hope once
the liberation of African people is very personal to me.
Okay, well, that's you. You govern yourself. Don't let others dictate your emotional state. So anyway, we'll be back next week, everybody. Until then, everybody have a good week. Continue to be strong. Educate your mind as best you can. And look out for my educational videos on the DJR Stewart channel. And also, you can go back and watch the old shows from Black Men Speak on this channel. Everybody take care, and we'll see you next week.